Hey guys, it's me Karthik Kantwal from Apex Finserv, and we're back with the watchlist trades as usual and the index outlook, since it's fresh week, fresh weekly expiry and the fresh week starting tomorrow. But before we start for the trades, discussing for the trades for tomorrow's trading session, well, out of all the trades that we had discussed last week, the entire week, out of that, we ended the week in a net 5.8, or well, roughly you can say about 6% in the green. So it was a green trading week for us when we look at the equity and bank nifty and the index nifty as well. You already know that was a good trading week for definitely bank nifty and nifty too. So well, I hope the week was green for you guys too as well, and I hope you guys made some money last week too. Coming back to the trades for tomorrow's trading session, and without wasting further time, starting with the first trade that we have, well, SRT. Now SRT, we are going to go for a breakout trade. If you look at the intensity of the up move that has come on SRT over the last 2 days, 5th and 6th, and well, the trading session that we had on 7th too. So that up move was a very quick and sustainable recovery from the fall that it had before. So now we are going to go long above the break of the highest part of that up move, or the highest recent immediate swing leg, which is about 680. So we are going to go for long positions above 680. Stop loss going at 670, and the ideal targets at usual 1% from your point of entry. Moving on to the next script that we have, Apollo Hospitals. You guys might remember I told you guys there was some sort of a distorted double top formation going on here, the neckline of which was well under at 1575, but that's not the case anymore. That has been completely invalidated. So now we are going to align ourselves with this upside momentum. We are going to go for a long position at the resistance turn support if that happens. So we are going to go long at 1725, stop loss at 1700, and the ideal targets on upside 1% as usual. Moving on to the third script that we have, Just Dial. Well, Just Dial again, it had this upper ceiling of the range which it broke, and we took a long trade on this one as well. Now we are expecting the same upper ceiling to act as support now. So it should take a bounce from there and then resume its upwards journey. That is the idea as of now. So now we are going to go for a long position at 375, stop loss going at 370, and the ideal targets being 1% as usual. Moving on to the next one, we have Piramal Enterprises, or PEL. Now PEL, we are going to go slightly aggressive at this point. We are going to go for a breakout trade on the downside at PEL. If you look at the candle structure, every time it tried going up, so there have been both the times it has tried going up, that was not sustained. If you look at the body to wick ratio, that's not really optimal at all. So now we are going to go for a short position once this swing low breaks. So we are going to go for a short position under 1450, stop loss going at 1465, ideal targets being 1% as usual. Moving on to the next one that we have, IndusInd Bank. Now IndusInd Bank, we are going to go for a long position now, simply at a recent pullback at 505. No rocket science there. You can clearly see it was a support, broken on the downside, acted as resistance once, and now, well, it should act as support again ideally. So we are going to go for a long at 505, or buy at 505. Stop loss going at 500, psychological support, or slightly under 500 if you want to be on the safer side of things, and the ideal targets being 1% as usual. Moving on to the next one that we have, MFSL. Now MFSL, we are going to go for a breakout trade here as well. Now if you are familiar with chart patterns, you might see some sort of distorted rounding top formation going on here, which fits perfectly. If you look at the recent trend, it has been in a strong uptrend since some time now. So it should be a good reversal. It is a good chart pattern breakout trade. It is more or less by the book example. There's this neckline at 530, 528. So we are going to go for a short position once that breaks down at 530. Stop loss going at 538, slightly on the giving it more room. But since it is a pattern, I do have a good feeling about this trade. Let's see how that goes tomorrow. Again, so we are going to go for a short under 530 if that is broken in a strong swift candle, with the stop loss at 538, target being 1% from your point of entry. Moving on to the next one, Oro Pharma. Now Oro Pharma, if you look at this sudden up move and this corrective leg that has happened, you might say, Karthik, yep, it is a flag. Now we are going to be being, we are going to go slightly aggressive at this point. We are going to go for a short position under that support. We are going to go for a short position once that lower part of the corrective movement breaks, and well, more or less, there are two options after that. It can either go for a complete reversal and go all the way till 865, 868, or it can simply go for a deep flag correction at about up to 882, 883. Let's see what happens, but we'll go short under 900 since well it happens to be the closest swing low as well as a good round psychological support. So if that breaks, we'll go for a short position. Ideal targets being 1% and the stop loss going at 910. Moving on to the final script that we have, Bharat Falls. Now Bharat Falls, it is more or less in the news since it is in that sector, the defense sector. So well, what we are going to do here is we are going to go for a breakout trade here as well. Once that recent swing high is taken out, then we can enter longs safely. So we're going to go for a long position only above 415, stop loss going at 410, and the ideal targets being 1% as usual. Now these are all the charts that we had to discuss for today. When it comes to the equity segment, 8 scripts from the watch list. Let's see what triggers tomorrow and let's see how many targets do we have. Now moving on to the indices that we have, Nifty and Bank Nifty. When we all right, give me a second. Yeah, moving on to the indices that we have. Now on Nifty, well, you might see there's a trend line and a zone near to the closing price. So if you want to go for a long position, you can go for a long once it takes the support of that demand zone again, or you can go for a long position above 11,300 as well, if you want a breakout trade. If you want a short position, you can go for a short position under 11,180, 11,175, and keeping the target at the next zone, which is at 11,100 more or less. And let's see which one gets triggered first. When we look at the option chain, we have immediate resistance at 11,300 with 1.1 million added contracts. Important resistance at 11,500 with 1.2 million added contracts. Support side of things, few less contracts have been added. Immediate support at 11,200, closer to the market price, and we have a zone and the trend line as well. So if you want to go for aggressive longs for smaller targets, then 11,200 seems to be a nice place. With about 700,000 added contracts roughly. Important support, not immediate, important support at 11,100 with 963,000 added contracts. Let's see which side of the analysis gets triggered first, the long or the short. Of course, both of these things, before you enter a position, I strongly advise to wait out for the first 30 to 45 minutes of price action so that you have a good understanding of what's actually happening on the chart for that particular trading day. You have a bias formed so that you can act on it. Let's see how it goes. I personally would like to either go short at 11,300 or go long close to 11,200, depending whichever one gets triggered first, and of course the kind of candle that is being formed at that particular zone. Moving on to the next index that we have, Bank Nifty. Now Bank Nifty, we do have a lot of zones, but this range that it is in, 21,900 to 21,500, this range is a stupidly tight range. It's not really tight, the range is pretty wide, so you can comfortably go for ping pong trades if you want. But if you are a conservative trader, if you want to go for breakout trades, then longs about 21,900 with 150, 200 points target, or short under 21,500 with again 150, 200 points target seems to be a decent way to go if you are a conservative trader. If you are an aggressive trader like me, you can go on plotting trend lines and go for aggressive short entries on the downside under 21,700 for quick 80 to 100 points target. Now when we look at the option chain, we have immediate resistance at 21,800 with 105,000 added contracts. Important resistance at 22,000 with 132,000 added contracts. On the support side of things, we have immediate support at 21,700 with 70,000 added contracts. Important support at 21,500 with 214,000 added contracts. As I said, break of 27,000 should give a swift move till, this is just my analysis and my bias. Break of 27,000 in one swift candle should give you a move all the way till 21,550 or 21,500, which is the next important support. If that is sustained, we might again see a rise up to 21,700 or something like that. If that is broken, we might go down. Now when we look at the PCR for Bank Nifty, it is 0.89, which happens to be in the bearish territory. So the option buyers are already bearish. Now if you look at the immediate levels of resistance and support, if you compare them, then there's a difference of almost 30%, 30 or 35%. of the writers on the call side being more aggressive. So they are more confident about 21,800 acting as resistance than 21,700 acting as support. Break of this 100-point range might give a further 150 200 points ka move. So depending on your trading ideology, how aggressive or how conservative you are, you can plan out a nice trade for tomorrow's trading session. Of course, as usual, wait out for 30 to 45 minutes of price action before you enter a trade, especially on the indices. Now let's see what happens tomorrow. These are all the charts that we had to discuss for today. This is all that I have to share for you guys today. Now, as usual, if you want any of these charts, or if you want the option chain, or simply you want to trade the watch list, you can find all of that on different platforms. Now you can get it on Telegram at the rate Apex FinServe. You can also get it on Instagram again at the rate Apex FinServe, and Twitter, same handle. The links of all these three platforms will be in the description below, so be sure to check us out there as well. And as usual, if you like these charts, if you like the content, or just the trades that we have been posting, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell notification icon. As usual, I hope you guys have a good green start to the week tomorrow, and I hope the same goes for us as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good night. Bye.